Catherine ended up becoming the prototype for Persona 5. Because since up to that point, Personas 1 through 4 only ran on isometric views and 2D systems that could not really handle that kind of processing. And at that time, the jump from 4 to 5 was a jump in hardware. So we were going from PS2 to PS3/Xbox 360. Therefore, Catherine was literally a prototype built by the studio so that way they could figure out how were they going to handle going from 2D to 3D, right? So since that was a prototype and it was a successful prototype, and also the creator, of Catherine did also come out and say that like they also just wanted to, in a sense, get another perspective out there when it comes to day-to-day life, because Persona focuses on high school life, and that's something that a lot of people can, relate to at some point, right? But then when it comes to adult life, it gets a little bit hard to find a normal sticking point that a lot of adults can kind of all go through a similar experience together. But love is something that is experienced in the hearts of almost all humans, and so that's a very relatable emotion, which is why he created Catherine. So it was both a prototype and also to appeal to an adult audience, right? So I'm not going to go too deep into that, considering that that's not really what the video is about. The video is about, I have a really, really good feeling that both Persona 3 Reload and Metaphor Refantazio were both prototypes for Persona 4 Revival and then Persona 6. Specifically Persona 6, because Persona 3 Reload was, again, really elevating the hardware, again, from the PS3 and Xbox 360 era, as well as Metaphor Refantazio up to new standards, because Studio Zero is also the creator of Catherine. So, and a lot of the Catherine staff were veteran Persona developers who also ended up working on Persona games. I feel like it's genuinely all connected, okay? And not only do I feel like it's all connected, I feel like it's all connected to show us what Persona 6 is most likely going to look like. Persona 6 is most likely going to look like a mixture of Metaphor Refantazio and Persona 4 Revival, as far as like the quality of itself, of production quality. And then the substance wise, I think they're going to tackle on to some heavier subjects, because they already tried that and tested that out with Metaphor Refantazio. Metaphor Refantazio digs deep into racism and and so many economic and socio-political issues, which I feel like Persona 6 might try to levy in a little bit more on. The rumors of Persona 6 that we've seen up to this point, it just gives off a few indications of like, one, a yin versus yang protagonist. There might be two protagonists. The color is green. It might take place at an art school setting, but it's still an art school that is a high school. So regardless, we're not going to fully escape the wrath, the wrath of the high school setting in Persona games. But I feel like they might get into even more heavier topics than before, which Persona already deals with extremely, extremely heavy topics of sexual abuse and trauma and suicidal ideations and just so many intense things. And 5 and then 3 is all about grief. I mean, 3 is entirely about grief. 4, it's honestly a bit lighter in tone, but it also deals with incredible themes of like dementia and ideations of delusions of grandeur and all of those kinds of things. And then also talk about where do you find yourself in society and what is society to you, and it kind of deals with all that stuff. Persona 5 Strikers deals a lot more about the heart within and what makes a human heart, right? But I just feel like we are probably on a gaze here, where at some point or another, when we do finally see Persona 6, I think it's going to be dark. I think it's going to be a lot darker than people are expecting it to be. I think it's going to be a lot darker overall, in a way that's going to have some people really scratch their heads and be like, huh, I was not expecting it to be that dark. I don't know. It's just a feeling that I have. What do you guys think Persona 6 is going to be about? Let me know in the comments below.